we don't always have to experience the failure ourselves. That's where being able to learn and watch and pay attention and having great mentors in our lives, because we can collapse time. That's wisdom, really learning from others' failures. And I think that's even seeing the relationships that we thought were going to last forever in junior high and high school, and, you know, being able to kind of grow and evolve. Man, it's, it really is some tremendous lessons that can apply as we continue to grow and scale in the future.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, going back to one of the things I think helped me early on in business in real estate was, you know, you just mentioned it, was mentors. You know, I knew that I'm one that I'm not fearful, and I'm going to consistently seek advice. I'm not scared to ask for, hey man, how did you do that? Right.
I could choose to let this affect me. I can choose to let my mind just dwell on it, and nothing else gets done and nothing else gets accomplished. So the number one thing is I can make a choice to not let those things affect me in a negative manner. And then how can we solve them? That's it. Everything is earmarked for how can we solve them? How can we fix them? And is it truly need to be fixed and solved right now, or can we just place it over here and then we rank them in terms of importance or priority?
Really pushing on our team to focus on the thing within their control, but you know, it's then now I got to live it at a high level, right? Here I am, you know, leading these people to, hey, what is the one thing that's within your control you can focus on today to move whatever bucket in your life forward? But now when you're forced to, like, shit, I have to lead the way with this. It could be draining. And, you know, I think too, you know, you also throw in the last 4 months, you know, addition to the family, you know, as family has grown. So that's even, you know, another, you know, it's a huge bright spot. Being able to understand that, you know, how are you creating your brand, your experience with that brand inside of your target market area. And it's I believe it's critical. I believe it's critical for all of us, no matter what industry, what business, what we're in, is to really, you have to put the experience with you, your company, your brand first and foremost. That's got to be on your mind, like, daily.
I agree with that. I agree. When you try to just constantly get more business, get more business, the business may come and you may make a lot of money. The problem is that it's all transactional. Yep. You're not paying attention to the deals that you've already closed. You're only looking forward to the deals that are to come. And so you're leaving, you know, so you're stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. Mm-hmm. And I would say that, especially for newer agents, you know, maybe less than 5 years in the game, and that's me as well. Like, I would say, you know, it's okay to build slow but intentional. Actually, it's okay to build fast, but build intentionally.
There's definitely, you know, marketing and branding strategies that are in play. Sure. But everything that you need to be intentional, everything you're doing, and probably asking yourself this question: is this going to drive me to a conversation?
That's it.
And like, you know, everything's trending. You cannot automate a real estate transaction.
Nope.
And so it'll always come down to a decision of trust. It'll always come down to a conversation. And you need to be thinking, is this activity going to drive me to a conversation? Mm-hmm. And that's just kind of your default filter, that when you're doing an activity is like, hey, is this going to get us a conversation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you know, and we've been saying this since day one too. It's about working smarter, not working harder.
Right. 100%.
And working smarter is doing things that will lead to a conversation, as you said. So, you know, when, you know, Labor Day came, Veterans Day's coming, you know, Memorial Day's coming, sticking flags in somebody's front lawn is nice, but is it going to lead to a conversation?
Right.
You know, sending out the schedule for your local football team, nice. Branding, is it going to lead to a conversation? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, all those things are great, but, you know, what are you doing to get somebody to get on the phone with you? Emails, text messages?
in the real estate industry, you can make a crap ton of money. It's up to you. There is no ceiling, but you have to do the work. And so many people, I think, get into this industry and expect everything to be handed to them, and they're entitled to this, and they don't want to get up at 4 a.m. They don't want to get up even at 7. And it's like, if you look at studies, market research shows that most billionaires beat the sun up. They're up before the sun. They work out every day. They have a schedule, and they live by a structure, and they're self-disciplined, and they make a crap ton of money. But if you don't have those core values in our organization, then you're just not a good fit. And it's just super simple.
100%. Nothing matters if you don't have standards. And essentially, we all have standards, but to what level are those standards? And so when I'm hearing you talk about cares, which I love, because care is the glue of leadership. So when you look at as you're building your organization and you're creating this culture, which understand culture is just a collection of your people. And so that's why you have to have values that you hire, fire, train, promote, everything to, because that's the dynamic. Those are the personalities. Those are the people. And that becomes your culture. And what has to happen is that, so I love that, because the glue is care and your core values are cares. And so you're being able to have that.
It's a long sales process. You're going to get frustrated. You got to stick with it. You have to have a process. You have to have a budget. We can teach you how to bring in preferred vendors to partner with you, those that are established in the business and understand that it's a long process and they're not going to get immediate returns out of it. But if you can do this, cultivate it, grow it, like you said, a farm analogy, man, the crops just keep coming as long as you don't mess it up, as long as you take care of people and you treat them the way you'd want to be treated.
Yeah, there's it's a difference in positioning, and there's this concept of the genius or the help. And when you have that authority and that positioning in the market, you're the genius, and it's just a different conversation. They listen differently.
Right. So it's like every day I wake up, it's, yes, I want to do good for me and my family and my little boy, but I don't want to disappoint Matt. I don't want to let my team down. I don't want to let you down. I don't want to let Jay, my Al. And further, I feel responsibility that we're all one big, huge team at the end of the day, in it together, rowing in the same direction. So I think if you're fortunate enough in life to find that, I don't think there's anything better. I'm 41 years old, and I can say this is the only other time I felt this feeling was playing college football. Yeah. So I think that is so powerful what you said.
Yeah. It's culture, man. And it's as leaders, especially head of companies, our number one responsibility is culture. And, all culture is really just a collection of our people. And so that's why you have to fight to make sure that you allow people into the environment that align to the greater cause, the vision of the organization, the vision that you have for your life. And you have to protect it at all costs. The king eats first. And it's all because that you have a responsibility as a leader for your family, for your team, for your community, that you have to show up as the best version of yourself each and every day. And it's a gradual daily progression that is so key. And it comes back to something that is really important to you, and it's standards.
Right. More than anything. So like for me, for my people, or my mindset is, I live a life of impact. I don't chase money. I don't chase a lot of things. I just know that I'm very blessed to still be here. I'm very thankful for all the opportunities that I've had in my life. And I want to impact everybody's life around me. So like, I just have one of those mentalities that if you come across me, I just want to leave your life better than who you were before you met me.
Where do most people struggle with their communication? Where do they struggle in being able to not even understand this? Is that really what it is? They don't know, or they don't care?
I think it's that. I think it's people are smart, right? And what we all are, we are also very habitualized. So a lot of what we do is just pure habit. So most of us, when we're actually talking, we're not listening. We're just reacting with our typical script. And so one of the hardest things I think people have the struggle with is that they actually they don't know how to sit in the space and suspend. They feel like there's a compelling need to have to take your idea and sink it. So in dialogue theory, which is, if you've read any books like Difficult Conversations, Crucial Conversations, these are all books that come from one theory called dialogue theory. And dialogue theory came from a physicist, by the way, that replaced Albert Einstein in his chair in academia. And this David Bohm basically just teaches that dialogue is like a pool. And what we want to do is just let all these leaves of information float in, and just let the leaves or your content just land in the pool. And when you let it land in the pool, the leaves are either going to float because they're coherent, or they're going to sink because they're not. The ideas in our conversations in and of themselves have their own life and their own ability to live. But what we do as communicators is we feel a need that the minute an idea lands in the pool, if we don't like it, we try to drown it and sink it. And the minute you're actively, that's actually, just so you know what that's called, that would be a debate. The debate is where I'm going to try to use my ideas to beat up your ideas. But a dialogue is where I'm going to allow a free flow of information and logic. But in order to do that, you have to suspend.
But when you get the right people on the bus and you have them in the right seats, it changes everything. They're going to help you build the processes. They're going to identify the bottlenecks and the problems, so you guys can go about fixing them. When you hire smart people and listen to them, it makes everything so much easier. So that's just a fundamental one that we talk about every day in our business.
You have to live by that principle of, taking that extreme ownership, taking accountability, the 100-0. We could always do something different, right? If something falls through the cracks, we could have always done something better. We could have dialed in the process. We could have dialed in the procedure. We could have just dialed it in a little bit better. We could have been a little bit more clear. And I think the biggest thing, Joel, to convey to people out there listening is like, don't beat yourself up.